Can I get some audio? Brian.
10 bed in a mansion.
Okay. Randall.
Here.
Audio's good to go. Run it. We're back. Post Thanksgiving filling. Ate a shit ton over the whole week actually, instead of just Thanksgiving. So still groggy. And it doesn't help that it's been cloudy for about a week and a half now. With some cool weather, some wind. It feels great outside. It doesn't feel like it's Florida, which is good. Not that we live in Florida, wink. Anyway, what was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask Randall something. I forgot what it was. It'll come to me later. Don't worry about it. Uh, yeah, a week full of consumption, in terms of food and gaming and watching TV and stuff. I caught up on some of my backlog in a very productive way. So, what is it? What else? What did I? We finished Saints Row. I did Cyberpunk, and then I also finished. What was the third one? Lies of P was the third one.
Liza Penis, you know?
Lies of Penis. I finished Lies of Penis. Then I finished Gen V, the spin-off show for the boys. Uh, what else did I
Scott
watch?
Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. What else we got? Oh, last night I watched The Covenant. I was behind on that because I had it in my. I had access to that for quite some time, so I just haven't gotten to it. Um, what else? I think that's it. Gen V, and I don't think I watched any other movies. I mean, I rewatched old stuff, but that's just me now. Bro, you look like you're gonna sell me an iPhone.
You are an
And then my face turns into what the camera layout is. Isn't it like three holes or something?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
one
two
side
on
looks like
this,
it's your
but
left eye. I have. Just have a bar.
that man has a whole ass bar on it. Is it a touchscreen bar? Like it's a Mac keyboard?
No.
Shoot. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a chill one today because I don't remember everything, right? That's what sucks about Thanksgiving break. It's because I'm already done with the year after Thanksgiving break. I'm
Yeah,
like, let's start the next year already. Like, why do I have to work in between now and the Christmas break, right?
in all honesty, with my backlog of music at least, I still listen to Andre 3K. I gotta listen to Brent Faiyaz, Majid Jordan. But after this weekend, I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to Blonde.
Yeah, and hopefully playing the albums, and he'll see his count go up. I'm like, oh, I should probably make more music.
Yeah, I'm just trying to summon him.
I'm sure he's cooking something up because he straight up performed. So looking at you, Coachella, if he agreed to be on stream, don't just because he says no. Oh, who cares? Stream it anyway, right? I'm still tight about that. What are you smelling at?
Nothing.
Okay,
I didn't even realize I was smiling.
what the hell is your problem, dude?
Oh my
It
god.
looks like you were typing something and smelling. So I'm like, what fucking hilarious conversation you having, right?
Not even, dude. I'm just looking something up.
Is it a GIF or like a meme or something?
No, just looking at my Google Drive trying to find something.
Shoot. Today, before we started recording, they showed off the screenshots for the new Fallout TV show. Like they took screen grabs because Vanity Fair had like the exclusive or whatever. It's looking pretty nice visually. We'll see if it's up to snuff in terms of plot and stuff or whatever. But it looks nice.
I saw a picture of a lady like this.
Yeah,
Like, oh, that looks nice. I
there's
didn't
other
know if it
ones
was
too.
just a fan thing. I didn't know there was actually a live action.
Yeah, yeah. They announced it quite a few months back. Was it a few months back or was it last year? I don't know. But anyways, they have finally have screen grabs. or they, you know, release it for Vanity Fair, I guess. Looking cool. The armor's there, like the armor, the power armor you would wear, looks pretty sick. They even had somebody dressed up as a ghoul, like the makeup and stuff as a ghoul looks pretty nice. And they also had like a screenshot of the remember Fallout 4, Brian, the floating fucking blimp that
Oh,
comes up.
the
I forgot
I
what
don't know
group
the
that
name.
was.
Brotherhood
Yeah,
of Steel, the big ass fucking
is that who it was? It was Brotherhood of Steel that was on the blimp.
is it a blip or an actual ship? You mean
It looked like a ship blimp. Like it looks made out of
shimp?
metal. A shimp, right? We might have just made up a new slur or some shit. And I apologize. I don't remember. Anyway, it's that was on
I'm
there.
trying
It
to look
just
it up, but I
it
don't
looks
think it's there.
cool in stills, right? We'll see once the trailer drops. And their soundtrack better be 40s, 50s, like in the game. Like I don't want to hear anything modern, dude. Even in the trailer, like nothing. I don't want to hear a fucking Drake track come on in the middle of a Fallout trailer, right? I don't want to hear Kanye with all one man power. Everyone has all this power. No,
Talking
I
about
want to
this,
hear what?
it's not the picture.
Yes, that's
That's the Brotherhood of Steel.
yeah. They have a screenshot of not a screen, yeah, like a still of what it's gonna look like in the show. It looks really nice. I'm sure it's probably CG though, but we can just pretend they made that. Um, that's it on that. I don't have anything else. It just came out earlier today, and I thought it would look cool. It's still not like holy shit, it's gonna be baller hype levels because it's just stills. But and today as well, they announced a spinoff for another boys show, the boys show, and it's
The
Mexico.
girls.
It's the boys in
Oh,
Mexico, and the dude from Andor and the dude from Werewolf by Night are gonna be either producing or in it or something. Remember the main Hispanic dude from Werewolf by Night?
oh, okay. Oh, from that movie where they're age fast on on the island.
Yes, same dude. Yes,
Never
Old
heard of him.
is the name of the movie, bro.
Are you gonna make one that's called Bald?
Yeah, and it's just gonna be me, Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, The Rock. Who else is bald?
You can do a CG of young Kane.
That's true. Before he went mayor, right? Because he grew
Yeah.
hair or something, or
No, he's bald now. In fact, maybe not Kane because his mask had the hair.
that's true. So not young. So
So you'd have to be Kurt
post
Angle.
Kurt Angle. I mean, we got a squad of bald buffs.
Yeah.
Napa, right?
I mean, One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. We're done, right? All the bald people are just too strong. So,
Sagat.
oh, that's right. He is bald. I don't know why I thought he had similar hair
It's a
to
Game
Adon
and
for some
Watch.
reason. That's so weird. Game and
It's
Watch
a
is
Game and
bald.
Watch.
I mean, he might have like short hair, it's just we can't tell because he's flat.
Does look like it to me.
That's what I'm saying. You don't
It
know either or.
bald until it said otherwise.
Oh, you default with bald.
The bald.
Okay. I don't know who else can we recruit here. Any fighting game characters that's bald besides Sagat?
Yeah. Uh. Oh, does balding count?
No, you have to be at the bald state. You can't be
Oh.
halfway through it.
What if they have like exactly 3 hairs?
You're
No,
technically
that
not
count.
bald. Sorry.
A 12 is bald. He's a
Okay,
nut.
that's true.
Oro's bald.
The Ninja
Not
Turtles.
Oro. Necro's bald.
All the
All the
Ninja
Ninja
Turtles.
Turtles.
This is a stacked
Oh,
team. So
Anthony. Dark side.
and he got bitches. So
Try to tell you.
yeah, we're too strong. The bald buff is
I,
not a joke.
no one's told me anything that goes against it.
Yeah,
That's all
that's
I'm
true.
saying.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Oh, anywho, popping a cold one this early, huh? What flavor is that?
Mandarin?
Alcoholic? Oh,
No, it's just sparkling. What is this water?
sparkling water. I was gonna say, what else could it be? Sparkling
Seltzer, I guess what it's called.
sel. Oh, I guess hard seltzer is the ones with alcohol in it.
It's liquor.
That's a liquor. Gosh, that audio clip is so good. That's liquor. That's ridiculous. I guess I can jump into my consumptions here, unless you guys have anything else you wanna bring it before I start ranting for 700 minutes.
I don't got anything besides my consumption.
Randall, I saw you were playing Tekken before you got on. Good news or bad news? That man's eating.
um,
Huh?
I don't know how to describe it.
Well, this is easy. Look, good news is you ranked up or stayed your rank. Bad news is you deranked.
I did both.
I understand, but when you left, when you signed off to get on this podcast, what rank were you? What rank did you end up on, and what rank did you start tonight's session with? Is it the same?
I didn't go anywhere. I didn't rank down and I didn't rank up.
So that's good news. That's
Mm,
that's what I'm saying. That's good news.
I was close. I was close to ranking up, and now I'm not.
But you're still in the same rank right now. That's fine. I mean, you don't have to worry about fighting worse players, right? You're done with that previous rank. You don't want to go back there. You have to conquer this one, and then go to the next one, and then don't come back down, right? You still fighting the same people? Like you're not getting hit with characters you haven't been hit with?
No, it seemed like I'm fighting all a bunch of new spammers.
Oh, that's fucking perfect. Like grab spammers or like low kick spammers or what?
Just pressing buttons spammers. Like,
Oh, just okay.
spend most of the
Just
time blocking because they don't have any faith in their defense, so they just keep doing offensive moves to cover their offensive move. So I have to wait. I have to wait until either they whiff a move or they do something that I can punish.
okay. So you're sitting
I
there just
mean,
being patient the entire time.
if I looked at it on the bright side, it's making my defense better. But I didn't realize that people at this level spam like just keep spamming moves.
Spamming moves? I guess you mean just hitting buttons, like any move, like
Like
just
they keep doing the same move over and over and over and over and over and over
oh.
and over. And it's like it'll be a move that you can't punish.
So they're trying to be Jiren then and just hit you with the it's over, but then you keep getting up until you're done, or what?
Well, I mean, like most of the time, like I said, I just either stand there and block. So
And
it's like
and wait for a
if I
breather.
choose to if I choose to do a move, I risk getting hit, or I could just stand there and just keep blocking.
Is there chip in Tekken? No, right?
It's not in 7, but there will be an 8.
Oh, they added chip in 8. But can you die in 8? Can you die from the chip? Or
I don't know.
because I've always liked that in I think Dragon Ball. Like you can do chip damage, but you can't die from chip.
You can die from chip in Dragon Balls. It's
Oh, then
a
what?
lot of things don't chip. It's Street Fighter 5. You can
That's what it
die from
was.
chip, but if it was a super, it'll chip you out, which I think's fucking stupid, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'd rather have it consistent. If you can, well, I don't know.
No, I think you should not be able to survive chip damage.
Oh, I
Because in
see.
that sense, now zoning is just dog shit, and that's exactly what happened in Street Fighter 5. Because you don't have to get close to me, because I can never kill you now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because then you have to fight against the time.
That's silly though.
You got to get that other person needs to make some moves. You know what I'm saying? Get closer.
Now on top of that, they had the bright idea of giving us got a close ranged super, so I couldn't chip you out with a fireball super because all the way over there. So what am I gonna do? Lose
They
twice?
didn't add him. Did they add second supers? They didn't add the
Now second supers, second V trigger,
whatever.
and second V skill.
They added more and
Can't
more
get chipped
fucking
out.
things to more. They added another fucking option for your meter management, right? Like what? I don't know.
Essentially.
Who cares? Street Fighter 5 is dead. Gone. We have 6 out now. Anyway. Alright, so I mean, to me that's good news, man. You do not derank, so Godspeed. You got some defense XP coming your way, and you don't have to worry about deranking. Deranking? Is that the word for it? That's not the word.
Sure.
Rank down? Rank I don't know, rank up
Demote.
is
Demotion.
demote. Thank you. Oh look, a spam risk. Ignoring that call.
Alright, dude, I was just trying to tell you something.
With what phone? You just dialed me without like it's on the table?
Yeah.
What was the number then?
Spam.
I mean I have a number I'm looking at right now, so
It's like
let's
if it saved me under.
there's a number on there. What's the number?
Mine. That's what the
Which
number
is what?
The one from my
Give
phone.
me numbers, Brian. This is the
I'm
point
trying,
of
but
the
you won't
info.
answer when
Just
I give it to you.
give me numbers. That's it. What number is it?
I'll
And
let you
throw
call me
numbers
back.
at me.
Watch, call that number back. Look.
That's so bad. Hey, give me numbers. I'll give you words instead. All right.
You call it back. Watch, you see this?
So I finished the Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty DLC. And the journey, excellent. Idris Elba did awesome. All the voice actors did pretty good in it. There's some dope action sequences in it, which was pretty fun. And the ending, there's multiple endings. One of the endings gives you a new ending for the entire game. Like the game ends after picking this ending, and I'm like, oh, I'll try that because I haven't seen this new ending. Do not do that. Just period. Go look up what it is, and then continue to play with the other ending because I did not like it. It was like, hey, we have to end this somehow, but you're never gonna ever get a happy ending. We're just gonna shit on you, and you're done here. Okay, cool. That's just me. It's like they kind of forced a sad ending. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna add a new ending to the whole fucking game, let's not add another sad ending, right? Can we get an ending that's like somewhat hopeful or something? It was not great. So it's a good thing I saved beforehand though, because I knew I had a feeling. I'm like, let me save just in case I hate this stupid ass ending, and I'll just move on. And I did. So I'm just when I load the game back up to maybe get the rest of the achievements or whatever, I'm just gonna use that other save. I don't know when that's happening though, because of the rate I've been knocking stuff out. We'll see if I go back. Cut to right after this podcast. Go to it. But it's more the same. The biggest update is the update 2.0. We kind of talked about that before, I think, with how they changed progression and skill trees and stuff.
Did the DLC? I haven't started it yet, still, because I'm a failure. But did they add a new skill tree? Because there's always been one since the game launched that it's like looks like it's like redacted at the bottom.
Yeah, and that's also like it's not a full on skill tree. It's like you can pick like 7 different things in there, and it's again, it's some cool stuff, and then some stuff's like I'm not gonna spend a skill point on this. It sort of supports whatever build you're kind of making, sort of doesn't. Like it's all the things you can add, like all the skill points you can or the skills you can pick from that new bottom tree. It'll like it's like complementing it's like complementing each of the different stats. Like there's obviously a skill you can get that complements the technical grouping, the cool, the reflexes, things like that. And I'm like, okay, that's neat. So everyone has something to pick from this tree, but it's nothing wowing you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it didn't wow me anyway.
It's not gonna change the way you play. It's gonna be something to add to the way you play.
Yeah, it'll probably help you make it more broken, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever base stat you're maining, if that makes sense. Because I did technical for mine. I just maxed that out as fast as possible and then went through the tree. So I used a bunch of tech guns, which is like charged, powered up guns. I didn't know that till afterwards. I'm just gonna commit.
Yeah, The one thing that's making me sad is I can't find a. I don't know if it even exists. Like the smart guns that aim for you. But I was hoping there's like one that you can put a silencer on.
And you can't?
I haven't found any. They don't have any like nuzzle mods or nuzzle slots, just like mods, and then maybe a scope.
Oh, I didn't
So
look into it.
I'm back to using just first playthrough guns. I have a pistol with a silencer and then a sniper. I added the sniper because before it was just a revolver.
Way to way to spice it up. I
But
had
I'm doing what's it called when you hack people?
I
I
think
didn't
it's
do I didn't do
intelligence, right?
yeah. My intelligence is maxed right now,
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna do the one where you put a bunch of cyber stuff on you.
I think that's tech.
That's tech, and then the cool is basically what my build is.
That means gonna be absolutely tank. So a sneaking tank is what he wants to be.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I can hack. I didn't have that out. But my first playthrough was literally the cool, maxed, and I don't remember what else. I
You
just
didn't need
walk up.
anything else because I mean the bonuses for shooting someone that was not aware, and then on top of that the headshot bonuses is like you're doing dumb damage.
I
There's
was.
no point in rendering their health bar because if you shoot them in the head, they're just gonna drop.
You know what it is.
Silence mode, is that what it is?
Yeah, but the fuck it. Yeah.
The Chidori?
What?
What'd you say?
I said I put the motherfucking ear.
You heard me. I heard. I think you said. I think you said I put the motherfucking Chidori on him, and I'm like, what? That's only for tech guns.
I used it once when the game came out. I'm like, this is fucking stupid, and then I moved on.
It's the most satisfying when I used a tech double barrel shotgun. Hearing because the point of the tech is you can hold it down until you hear there's like a sweet spot you have to let go, and it dings. So it's like, and you hear it go ding, and that's when you're supposed to let go of the trigger, and it does like max damage or whatever. So with like the shotgun, you walk up to some dude like this close and just hear it charge up, and when you hear the ding, they just and I let go and they just fly off and fucking
You just
die.
paint.
Yeah, they
The
just turn
wall's
into
not red.
yeah, and it's super satisfying. The other weapons are not as satisfying because it's like a pistol doing bing and then shooting. I'm like, okay, he's not dead because it's a pistol, right? But the rifles are worth it because again, they do some. It's that charge ding, and then the damage that comes after that ding needs to be substantial. Otherwise, I'm like, why am I charging this? So for like the pistols, it's not too hot. But for like precision rifle, I think it was, and the shotguns, yeah, they decimate your peeps. I guess the I don't know if I recommend people getting it though. Like if you already have base Cyberpunk, I for story, yeah, I think so because it's more of like, hey, you got to defend the. I guess I don't want to spoil it. It's one of those things like it's like one of those stories. Is like they leave a lot of stuff gray, so you don't know who to believe or trust. So then you have to make that decision, like, oh, who am I going with here? And then you have to live with that choice. It's a build up to like a specific choice where it's like, what you pick here is going to kind of decide how you're going to end this. So it's up to you to like, do as much talking between all the characters, make sure you make the right call and things like that. So for the story, sure, but mechanically, you're just in Dogtown most of the time. And all the stuff that's like they added mechanically wasn't part of the DLC. That was just part of the 2.0 update. So if you're looking for more stories in Night City, definitely, right? If you already watched Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, you played the base game, you're like, I want more stories from, then by all means, you'll enjoy this story. Because there's two different ways it can go. So I've only seen the one because I'm like, I gotta see what the new ending is. Now I'm like, I should not have picked this fucking side.
You can go Idris, you can go Elbow.
Yeah, you can go either Elba or Idris, and if you go Elba, it's over. So that's why it starts with an E. E for ending.
I for what?
Insane ending.
Okay.
So you can be the judge of that. What where do we go from here? Saints Row, Brian. We got to talk about Saints Row here because holy shit. Backstory on Saints Row. Me and Brian, I think, played 2 and on, right? Together? Because 1
Yeah,
was not
first
co
mission
op.
like that.
It
Yeah.
wasn't co op, right? Yeah. So after Saints Row 2 came out, I think co op was added. And we played almost all of them together. And it was a meme. So even the first one, I think you played on your own and played the online stuff because they had like an
27,
online.
baby.
Yeah, 187 baby. It was just a parody of being a gangster, and it was just so funny, and it got more and more ridiculous as each Saints Row came out. And then I guess they rebooted it with this new one that came out last August. We just finished. We just finally got to finishing it. Um, in terms of like the cutscenes and the writing, I think it's still there. Like how ridiculous it is. It's just once you leave those cutscenes of how ridiculous it is, the gameplay doesn't match the charm. Like it feels like they were still working stuff out. And there's like weird. There's another thing. Another issue with seamless, like a seamless transition. You'll start a mission and stuff, and it'll just fade to black into a cutscene. Sometimes you'll teleport somewhere else because of it. Because like the mission's like, oh, now you're gonna be here, and then other missions are like, no, you have to drive here now instead of just teleporting over there like you did in the previous mission. There's just like a lack of consistency on how some of the missions were made. Uh, there's a whole suite of how you can customize your cars. The game doesn't really call for you to do any of it. Like there's 0 point in doing it. There's a lot of stuff there that there's 0 point of doing it. Like you don't. It doesn't feel as satisfying. It's like, oh, I got a sick car. What can you do with it? Let the NPCs see it, I guess, because there's no really online component besides doing a co-op. Which it would have been cool if like you had a multiplayer and then you can bring in the car you customize from your single player to use or something. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Buggy is still up to. I mean, as of when did we finish it? Last Sunday? Last Monday?
Uh, Fuck, I don't know. Not the last weekend, the weekend before that, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. That we just forgot to talk about on the previous episode. But I think I have a clip of like me spawning somewhere and like the NPCs were having a falling animation. And then once I had player control, it's like, oh, we're fixed. And they went from like floating doing this, waving around to, hey, I'm fine. We had multiple missions where because the AI didn't progress the way they're supposed to, we had to restart the mission multiple times. And stuff like that. It's like I'm sure it was probably in development hell or something because it's wild how much stuff was overlooked. Again, because I was playing with Brian, it was just derpy fun. But
Yeah,
I can't.
I could never play that solo.
Yeah, this is not a game you should play solo.
The only way you could play it solo is if you were streaming it, like some kind of interaction with someone else while this is happening. I think it's the only way to justify on sale.
Even on sale, yeah. Do not. I cannot recommend someone play this game solo at full price. There's no way. If you have a co-op buddy to do it with and it's on sale, you'll have a great time. Like $20 or something each of you. Go in there and play co-op. There's a bunch of missions, side missions and stuff. Wacky weapons, crazy weird story where it doesn't feel like you're progressing in the rate that you think you are. Cause it's like, oh, we're trying to make the Saints, and like you do 1 or 2 recruitment like missions, and it's just the main characters you're recruiting. But there's no like, hey, recruit a random person that's in your gang. That was a thing that's been part of Saints Row. Like you see somebody in purple, you'd be like, oh, you coming with me, and
Whistle, yeah.
you whistle, and like, oh, now you're with him. Like he's in your party, and you can get in a car together, go do crime together, and stuff like that. I don't even know if you can do that in this. So it didn't ever feel like the gang was this the Saints were in the city, right? They were just in cutscenes, and it's like, so what are we doing? The streets felt empty. Like in 2023, the street doesn't feel alive. It looked like, hey, we're just playing a Saints Row clone, right? I don't know.
If I don't know. It's funny that like for the same fun, you could have just played Wildlands, and even that's a smidge polished compared to it.
Oh no, I stand behind Wildlands and Breakpoint. I played through most of Wildlands. I haven't finished Wildlands, but I finished Breakpoint and Those games are way much funner. Like, I mean, granted, it's more realistic, like military sim leaning, but even the co-op stuff in that, I'm sure it's much better than what we just went through in Saints Row. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. It was fun
Yeah.
because again, the company was there, and we were just this is what we played through these games, so we knew what sort of to expect, and then, but not not the bugs and stuff. But yeah, I recommend it for people to play with a co-op partner, and maybe get it on sale. Because I don't know if I don't think it's worth full price. In my opinion. Is that where you kind of land, Brian?
Yeah, definitely not full price. Uh, play with someone or like to entertain someone. I guess like if you're a
Oh,
content creator,
like streaming. Yeah. I
and
mean,
then you can have fun. And
because you
don't by any means, even if you do all these prerequisites, do not expect to take the game seriously because the game doesn't take itself seriously.
but that's on brand. Like they do that on
Mhm.
purpose. They like to be
Yeah.
wacky and not like they don't take themselves serious in a good way.
That being said, like I mean, it's enjoyable to just fucking dick around to like never be in a vehicle while it's moving, like
Oh,
moving on top of the vehicle, joking, just starting wing gliding to places.
yeah, that they have more and more wacky stuff. I don't think the laying on top of the car was in the latest Saints Row before this. Was it 4? Was the last one before this?
I don't remember being able to do that.
So they
The only thing I
probably added
remember
it to
from the one
this.
before though was that I was wearing a toilet suit.
Yes, that was what you were wearing. Yeah, like I'm thinking I would like to try to remember how Saints 4 how Saints Row 4 was. I might just download and load it up on the Steam Link to see uh how it was, cuz I remember it more fondly than what we went through in this new one. Same
Yeah,
with 3
4
and
was the
2.
superpower one, wasn't it?
Yeah. And even then they had funnier shit happening, like the EDM gun, that was one. That was
The
pretty funny.
soundtrack went off. I think I think it was that game where because we were playing in your apartment and you can make your own custom radio station. I think I only put uh it wasn't Final Countdown. It was a song that was in the Transformers movie soundtrack. I think, and I kept putting that and some other song and on loop.
That was in the Transformers soundtrack?
I think so.
Which Transformers?
The like old Transformers. It
I
wasn't.
can't look for it now,
Oh,
but
you got the touch.
oh, that's what it was.
It was that,
When
and
did
then
that play on the Transformers?
I think it. I
Was
mean,
it
I
when
could be
what's her name? Megan.
no older than her. Like I think older Transformers, if I remember
So the
correctly.
first one, because she came in this in the she came in the first one, didn't she?
No, before her. Like before her, that set of Transformers. I'm pretty sure it was in one of them. Either that or Power Rangers. I can't think of what it is now.
But Randall, am I tripping, or wasn't Megan Fox part of the first one? She was there from the
I'm
beginning.
talking about no for the
He's
Michael Bay
talking about
ones.
the original cartoon series.
Yeah, I'm talking
Oh,
before before Michael Bay existed. He
when
didn't
you say
make up Transformers.
okay, but I'm just for me, a
I
Transformers.
said
I'm
it
like,
like
what?
3 times before her.
Before her, but I'm like, there's nothing. You should have said before the live action series. You should have said light animated something.
Before the critical acclaimed Michael Bay Transformers series.
I don't even know if it's critically acclaimed.
Now that's people ass
I think the
possession.
first one probably got like a 40% or something. Let me see.
You got the touch. Transformers. Okay, that immediately YouTube's like, easier. There it is. Look, I'll send you the HD restoration version.
Oh no, never mind. 57 critics, but 85. What is it? General populace, I guess. The touch. That's crazy. I don't know. That's where that song debuted.
Yeah, is that, and then there's once, uh,
Once what?
I don't know. There's one song I don't remember if it was the exact one, but I kept referencing the Bugs Bunny episode when he's cutting the guy's hair and it's boom 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 beanie, boom 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 beanie, dee 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 dee, and that was in the soundtrack.
Yeah, I know what song you're talking about. I don't know the name of it because it's it's hard for me to remember names of like music with just instrumentals because like especially classical music. So I'm like I've heard that song before. I just don't know the name. And every time I look it up, it's like Overture 7, Compression 4, 5, and I'm like, what does any of that mean?
That's the fake name. Just type in Nut Hut.
Nut Hut.
Yeah,
That's
Beethoven.
pornographic.
Type in Beethoven and Boys with a Z. Nut Hut.
I don't know if that's a real song that you've heard, and I'm just gonna go into something wild.
I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
because at this point, anything can be a song. That's insane, dude. Uh, that's all I have to talk about Saints Row, man. It was fun playing with Brian, but I don't know if I can recommend, like I mentioned, recommend it full price solo with anyone. Even streaming it, I don't even know because you'll probably go crazy. It'll be entertaining for other people watching you go insane play the game. Holy shite! 2 down. What's the third thing? Lies of Penis.
Lies of Penis.
I think I got the bad ending, but I don't know for sure because the character I wanted to stay alive did not, and I failed the character, and I apologize virtually. Uh, but in terms of gameplay, it's pretty much very similar to From Software games like Bloodborne, or I say Bloodborne first, like I played Bloodborne. Elden Ring, no, that's open world. Like Dark Souls, I guess, or Demon Souls. Well, there's separate. Well, it's sort of
They call
open
them
world.
Soulsborne
Okay, Soulsborne type games.
type beat.
Yeah, but you play as Pinocchio. Um, and the world's filled with puppets and people, and there's like some sort of push and pull with puppets and people, you know, X-Men style, like, oh, they're not real, they're, whatever the case is, but you're Pinocchio, so you kind of become a real boy ish. Anyway, uh combat's been fun. You have different you have a starting out of 3 weapons. You have to pick one. I picked like the middle of the road one, where no, I did not. I picked the fencing one. What is it?
What?
It's like a fence, not a fencing. It's not a rapier. It's like a sword, but the way
Rapier? Yeah, it's long. You strikes like this.
yeah.
It's a rapier.
Then I think that's the one I chose. But I
Some
don't
of
know.
my
I
favorite
don't
ones.
know if that has any like weight to what other weapons you find later on,
What do you mean?
because like when I picked that weapon, I thought like that's the only type of weapons I would find. But I found like axes and like huge swords later on. So I'm like, okay, it's just your beginning weapon. I don't know if you can get the other 2 weapons out in the wild after you've picked. I should look that up. Anywho,
If they blaspheme or not.
yeah, very similar mechanics with the Soulsborne. R1 to attack, R2 heavy attack. There's durability on your weapon. Um, there's a meter that you can keep. You get a grindstone item that you can use to grind your weapons to keep the durability up, and then later on you can get like you can put it. There's like a socket for it, so you can put like a fire grindstone or electric, or like something that'll buff your weapon for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like if you put a fire grindstone and you use that grindstone, it'll give it like fire properties for a certain amount of time, kind of thing. But you only have so many charges to do that. I think you can get up to like 2 or 3 before you get to a. I think it's called Stargazer, Skygazer. I forgot what it's called. The bonfires in this, they're called like sky gazers or stargazers or some shit, something gazers. And once you use that, then you replenish, your health items, the reusable stuff like the grindstone stuff. Uh, something I think they added a lot of quality of life stuff that I really like, especially with the healing potions. Like how in Dark Souls and like Bloodborne and stuff you have the flasks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, in here you have the flask as well. But what they let you do is if you're out of it, like you have no more flasks, you can still charge up to 1 flask by attacking and like I don't know if you get some on defense, but if you have nothing more to heal, but you attack your enemies and stuff, or grind out enemies in the area, you can get up to 1 charge, so you can heal yourself again, right? Which is nice. So if you don't want to constantly be uh replenishing the flasks, you can sort. I mean, never mind, because if you had like 10 of them, because you can get to the point where you have like 10 flasks. If you use all 9, and then if you use like all 9, that's like late in the game after you've. I usually, now that I've played Elden Ring, I know to give myself enough health because I'm gonna need it, right? Health and defense, because I cannot.
It's not my mantra.
What's your mantra then? And goons?
So the last thing that I put up, like whatever, usually in those kind of games, dexterity build immediately. Because they usually rapiers and weapons like that I like, or if I want to work the body.
Okay.
And then stamina. My philosophy is if I get hit, I deserve to die. So I don't put any points into health unless I'm like, yo, if this guy even, unless it's I absolutely need to get to that point where I need to put health up.
Okay.
There's no stats going in there. All
That's
dexterity.
That's wild. That's a wild way to work, especially in Elden Ring. That's how you did stuff.
That's how I did
insane.
And let me tell you how I got through most of the game. Through movement, I didn't block. I had a rapier, and I did this thing. My whole playthrough. Shout out to my boy, fucking
Rogier.
what's his name? Yeah, Rogier, dude.
I got you.
For most of the game, I would jump and I would space jam dunk it, and I would just keep stunning people, and then I'd put ice on, because power of ice.
Okay.
If people that watch me play, they can vouch for it.
Uh-huh.
My health was like this big for most of the game.
That's insane. No, I'm good on that. That's that you're not dancing with you're laying in bed with fire. You're not playing with it.
I'm a Marvel player.
And that's fine. And I understand, because in Marvel, if you get hit once and you get hit once in the wrong spot, you're dead. You might as well just shake that character's gone.
Mm-hmm. But Millennials, I had shout out to the Rats, fucking Splinter and crew. Wasn't for them. My guys.
Who was it, the one that helped me? Did I have a summon? I did. I summoned myself, wasn't it? Was it a mimic? Wasn't it a?
He said the only person I can trust is me. He said that's
I
crazy.
think I have to go check the VOD again. I think when I beat her, I think it was because I summoned the mimic tier to aggro her so she doesn't literally destroy me. But yeah. Anywho, now we're talking about Elden Ring again. Lies of P. Thank you, Lies of P. What other quality of life stuff did they add? Oh, not a quality of life stuff, but like crafting they added, which is really nice. Like you'll find a weapon with like the blade and then the handle, and you can mix and match any blade with like any handle and come up with like different weapons, if that makes sense, with different attributes, which is really pretty dope. Don't really have that. Like all I have to reference is Elden Ring, so I apologize. I'm just gonna keep referencing Elden Ring.
Millennials.
For real, dude. Right? There's no craft like the crafting in Elden Ring is just, hey, let's buff the weapon you have. You can't like tear it apart and put different parts together, which I thought was really nice. Graphics, the environments look fantastic. Player models do as well, especially like the puppets and stuff when they're animating. They move like they're puppets, like mechanical and stuff when they strike, and even when they're walking and stuff, it just looks great. It looks like they took the time to get the characters right. And then the environments look great too. Most of the places like barely. It's not that it's barely lit. It's just all of it looks blue-ish. Because it's like it's always dusk, if that makes sense. Like there's no night and day cycle that I notice. So it's like
gray.
A little more color than gray, but like when you're outdoors, like traversing like in the outside, then it's like, okay, it looks nice, but after like spending 8 hours into it or whatever, you like, that would have been great to see the city in a different light, like during the golden hour or whatever, like seeing the night and day cycle.
Okay.
But that's me asking for too much. It doesn't really need it. That would be really cool to have. Unless it did have that and I completely missed it, or just didn't notice it. But like I said, the combat's it's still fun because it's pretty fast paced. It's not actually, depending on the weapon, because some weapons are heavy shit, so you have to like kind of commit to your swings. But if you pick like a medium weight weapon or even light weapons like daggers or some. It's really it's fast. It's fun. The boss battles were great. I didn't run into a boss where I'm like, this is the dumbest shit on the planet, right?
Mm.
The only issue I have with a lot of the bosses, there are 2 phases, but which at first I'm like, damn, 2 phases, but then I think back on a bunch of Elden Ring bosses where there are 2 phases, but both phases are like, why are you this like, why are you just in my throat?
You're running.
Why? Yeah, I'm running. Here, all the bosses were fun to fight because they had pretty concise move sets. You know what attack is gonna happen. You know where you need to be. Like, you don't just know it through trial and error. You'll find out, oh, I gotta be here when he does this. I gotta make sure to dodge here, or I can tank this and block if I need to, or if I time it correctly. And if you learn to time it correctly, you can parry almost anything in the game. Except, I think if they like glow red or some shit and attack you, you have to get out of the way.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. If they're not glowing red and they attack and they swing at you, you can parry it, and it does no damage to you. I think it takes a little bit of stamina if I'm mistaken, but once I learned that I can just parry most stuff, that's what I was doing. Like in Elden Ring, you have to learn how to dodge and like roll. Here, I'm like, if I didn't parry it correctly, I deserve to get damage, right? And doing that, it's fun because you're sitting there trying to time parries and stuff, and then attack. Uh, there's a, like you mentioned, there's stagger. So like after a while, the enemy's health bar will glow white or whatever to be like, hey, if you hit them with a charged strong attack, they'll stagger, and then you can do even more, like you can do an like execution style move on them, which is pretty dope too. I think that's it on combat for the most part, and you can use like consumables like throwing bombs at them, or throwing objects or stuff like that, or buff yourself with some consumable to charge your special moves. Oh, the weapons have special moves as well that they use up your meter, like your energy meter that's underneath your, I guess, magic meter. If you want to get technical there,
Oh, like just mana.
it's mana, but it's like slots. Like this takes 3 chunks of your mana. They're like battery cells. Like this move only takes 1 battery cell, so you can do it 3 times before you have to refill or whatever. This one's like an ultimate move, so it takes all 3. That makes sense?
Does it? Do you need to drink something or go to a bonfire to fill it up, or?
Both, and you can also make a build that you can regenerate it like during combat and stuff.
It's pretty chill.
So like that's another thing that I like. You can go down different types of builds because of the stuff you equipped. Because they give you like 4 slots for accessories. Your weapons have like attributes and stuff. I think that's it on that. Like I think the outfit you put on, I think it's just pure aesthetic. I don't recall it having any like stats to it, so you can make your character, you can make Pinocchio look like whatever. You don't have to worry about stats, which is nice.
Nice.
But it works for this game. Like it didn't work for Elden Ring because you're wearing that armor. So I guess they could have added transmog, but anyway.
In Elden Ring, the only thing I care about is if I have a light roll. But besides that, I didn't care about the stats. It was like what what do I call it? It's like runway ring. As long
Oh,
as it still said light at the bottom, I'm putting on whatever looks cool to me.
okay, that makes sense.
Because I mean, doesn't matter. Oh, +7 to this. If I get hit, I'm dead. So just fucking about.
But it doesn't matter because you can do more damage to the person, so they don't hit you, or stagger damage, so they can like crumble or whatever.
I do this. I get the swords. They do ice. A space jam.
What about you
And now-
goons?
And for that build, when I was in Elden Ring, for some reason the rule was I can only summon animals. So I only had Baby Go Aurelia, or I had rats, or the wolves that for a little bit. But I didn't fuck with the wolves like that much.
You should have gone the lizard with the whip. After watching Jeremy use him, that guy
The
is.
snake.
I call him lizard. Is it a snake
Oh,
with the
I don't
shield
know.
and the whip, the fire
know
whip
now.
that you find in the not the castle, when you're heading to the castle, the volcanic castle,
Mount. What is it?
Mount Volcano Castle, well, castle if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I don't know. It's one of those. Either snake or lizard. Is a lizard.
But After I saw Germa use him, I'm like, I should have given him a chance.
No, I got immensely attached to Aurelia
Okay.
and the rats because they were cheaper. But I couldn't. Let me tell you something. You can't trust those rats because I'm like, all right, let me summon them for this enemy. There's times that they'll spawn in random parts of the whole map. So like I'm looking at a guy, it's just this guy. I go, and you see them moving around below you.
What the
I'm like,
hell?
what the fuck? Yes, a lot of times, I guess I'm just an addict to to not having the best time. But
Yeah, like what? That makes no sense. But now that you talk about goons and stuff, that is one con I had. There's no goons that I know of in Lies of P. Like you can't summon a puppet or something to help you or any. Let me let me stop what I'm just talking about. Another quality of life that they added before every boss fight, you can use an item to summon an NPC to help you. And I did that every fucking time, which is probably why I enjoyed the bosses because it wasn't just by myself getting railed, right? And it's just a random, I guess, character that comes up. I don't know, but they also do a good job of aggroing and do sometimes a decent amount of damage. It's not online; it's just like an NPC, which is good. But you have to have, I think, a star fragment or something to summon them. So you can't have goons, but having that option right before a boss really helped me. Oh, another even from soft take notes. If you die in a boss fight, your runes and stuff are outside waiting for you every time. So if you're like, fuck, I just lost 400,000 runes, you don't have to get into the battlefield, beat him, and then pick, like, it's waiting for you outside. So you can pick it up and just come back later.
mm,
That needs to be from now on in every fucking From Soft game. All right. Hey, I died at the boss. Leave my runes at the door so I can maybe use the runes to level up or just leave, use the runes for fucking, what is it? Upgrading my weapon, something. How are you punishing? Like, I'm trying to get my runes back. Why do I have to kill the boss now because I made a mistake and going, you know what? I could take on this boss. Nope, I died. I should be able to grab my runes right outside the door like they do in Lies of P and keep it moving. I'll come back later, right?
as a penis,
And Lies of Penis, right? Um, what was I gonna say?
word.
But yeah, besides like the star fragment summoning, I was hoping there was some way of like maybe manipulating the puppets that are there already and like make them your goons and stuff, but there wasn't. But maybe in DLC or maybe in the second one they'll add that kind of build. And I think they don't really have. Oh, I forgot the other thing. Your left arm as Pinocchio, you can swap it out. It's called the Legion arm, and they all have different abilities. Like the one I stuck with was the Scorpion one, if I like to call it, because it's like a repel thing that you can just shoot at someone and pull them towards you, or you can pull yourself towards enemies. So that's my get over here arm, so I can do a bunch of attacks, and if I kill the guy, I can pull myself to the next person, things like that, and zip through between characters or enemies. There's like a fire legion one, an electric arm, the pulling one that I just mentioned, the grapple, I guess we would call it. There's a bunch of other ones too. I think there's one that's just for the shield one as well. There's one that looks like it's from God of War. You know how he has a shield on his forearm?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's like the arm is mechanical and stuff, and he has like a little shield here, and then he can enable it, and it gets a little bigger for you to take a hit. But it also like it's like Wakanda's. It's like Black Panther's armor. Like you can absorb a hit and then throw the energy back at him, which is pretty fun to do as well.
Perfectly timed, or just as long as you block something.
It has to be within a window. Like the thing when you hit the block button, you see the shield go red, like it's ready for impact. But if it dies away and then it hits you, it doesn't do that.
You said gun was one, right?
And then they have a gun one as well, a gun arm. I didn't try it because I'm not doing a ranged build like I was doing. Like get in there and do physical damage, which is why I was like pulling myself towards enemies and like attacking and then backing up a bit when they have to
I gotta
attack.
start it. Still haven't installed and I haven't tried it.
That's kind of it. I don't want to spoil the story. The story is again like it's just very similar to From Soft games where you have to like look for the story and like pay attention to what people are saying, look around the world. You know what I'm saying? Look at the NPCs that you talk to, things like that. Like you have to like focus on the story instead of like just playing through it. Since I was just playing through it, I only got kind of the gist of it. But again, the gameplay's king and the combat's really fun. Exploring the world, you kind of get some benefits from it. Again, I didn't 100% the game, but I didn't find a lot of like dope stuff while exploring. Like I'm like, oh, I found a new weapon and stuff, but it's not. I don't know. I don't know why I'm expect. Yeah, it was like, oh, I gotta try this weapon or something, right? It's cool to like explore and get more resources so you can level up. So I'm like, when I get a quartz, or if I get a,
I don't know why he said that. Funny.
I think I put an emphasis on the Z. Quartz.
I get a quartz.
A quartz. Quartz is what
with
you
the
use.
sleeves cut. Oh, sorry.
Quartz
My
is.
Jadakiss.
I mean, it's pretty good. I thought he joined in on the podcast here.
It's too loud. I can do the real one. I pussied out. Continue.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think you've done that better.
Yeah.
The quartz is what you use to like level up your frame, like since you're a puppet, and then you'll find like moonstones, half a moonstone, full moonstone, something like that, that you get to use to upgrade your weapons. And then all the NPCs you find at like the main hub all have like side missions and stuff that you have to complete. They do a good job in this. Like they give you an achievement when you finish their side mission, so you're like, okay, I don't have to worry about finishing said persons, which I wish Elden Ring had instead of just, hey, kill all these bosses and maybe collect items. I think that's what Elden Ring had. But having distinct achievements, hey, you finished this person's side mission story arc, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done with this person. I can move on to the next. Like, I like my check boxes, right? I like to have that. So I like that they did that. I don't know. I definitely can recommend Lies of P for people who don't normally play FromSoft games, because I don't. The only one I actually played the completion was Elden Ring. So
Lies of Penis, you said?
And now Lies of Penis, but it's not from it's not from FromSoft.
Yeah, but
so
you said Lies of P. I didn't know which one you meant.
Oh, so from here on out, Lies of Penis is Lies of P. Now you know.
Okay.
I definitely recommend it. It looks great. It plays great too. Combat's fun. Exploring's pretty fun too. And then the story is like, depends if you gravitate towards it. There's not really much there. I played it for the combat and the gameplay, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And that's all I gotta say on that. You need to start it, Brian.
Yeah, probably soon. I got to gotta do that Dead Space, and then see more build comes out.
You said December,
Friday.
right? This Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, shite.
What I might end up doing, because it seems like that's gonna be a peaceful game, is I might retire Dredge, even though I've been liking it.
Why would you can have both?
Like,
No, you haven't swayed me the other way. Like you can have
like
both
not,
of them
not
installed.
that I'm never gonna play it again, but like take a break.
Oh, well, yeah, you don't have to stick to one game until you finish it. You
I
can
have
jump.
to. That's the rule. Look.
Oh, I
see.
see.
The point.
I mean, I just saw something scrolling on your screen from your glasses, so I agree that that's what you wanted me to see.
Good thing. No, never mind.
Good thing what?
Good thing, and then insert that's your website isn't on my monitor.
Oh, that's true. That would be really funny. Because then I'm like, what is he watching? And like zoom in, it'd be pixelated pornography.
Yeah.
Anywho, is that my 3? Yeah. Brian, what did you consume? Because that way I can take a break from talking here.
That I consumed Persona 5 Tactica. I think from start to finish in the time before we did this episode. And Pilgrim. And Saints Row, obviously, but we talked about that. Like this might be something else, but I attempted to play The Last Faith, I think it was called. Persona 5 Tactica after, and Scott Pilgrim in that order. The Last Faith, I got to like maybe the second or third boss. It's a Metroidvania, but it's very inspired by like Castlevania, Soulsborne-esque kind of aesthetic.
Okay.
Like very dark medieval, not medieval. I don't know if that's medieval, but
high fantasy.
Yeah, like dark high fantasy aesthetic. and the game feels like it's gonna be short. It's just me saying I'm just not for me. The game feels very stiff, and it still feels like it should say early access instead of release, especially when it comes to hitboxes. Because there's a lot of times where
You have to move your mic a little closer.
um this is my body,
Yep.
this is a fireball, I got hit.
Oh,
The bosses that I got to weren't really fun. I'm just
okay.
like, okay, this. The idea of it would have been cool. Um, the way you level is the same way you level in like a Souls game, or hey, get these points, go to bonfire, put points into these stats. All these weapons scale off of this. Upgrade the like.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like Souls like in that sense. But I didn't get to the point where it might have been really cool, or I would have gotten a really cool weapon. The bosses were man. The aesthetic was cool. Honestly, it made me want to play Blasphemous again.
Damn, every time I hear Blasphemous, I'm like, damn, they fucking snubbed them.
I don't. I'm honestly, Game Awards to me is just show me announcements because I don't respect any of their nominations or anything like that.
There's already a bunch of journalists going, this is going to be a big one. I know some stuff that's coming. And I'm like, okay, I'll let you know if it's a big one. Okay.
All that's
Because,
coming is just more white stains that we can't explain on Jeff Keighley's lips
yeah,
while Kojima walks off camera.
I think he's probably going to show off something for Death Stranding too.
Strand death.
Yeah. Every time, bro, I see that game, I'm like, and it's like $10. I'm like, should I just try it? And
I
then I
got it
never
for
do.
free on Epic.
Oh, there was a, maybe I do as well.
If you don't, I can just give you my Epic login.
Hold on. Let me double check. I'm logging to Epic real quick. Do I have it? Because I was pretty good on claiming games, but I've kind of fell off recently.
Same. I
'Cause
wouldn't brag like you did, but
it's because I just don't load this launcher up. I used to play, I'm sorry, we have Dead Island 2 here, but we haven't played that in a bit.
you played it the other day.
I mean, like before that. I do have Death Stranding. I don't have to buy
Okay.
it. I think I claimed it. Cool. So disregard that. I might give it a shot one day since I hadn't paid for it. And I'm going to be like, Kojima, this is Snake. Make a new game for me. And then,
Just
like, I
that.
can't. Yeah. Imagine. That would be pretty dope if Kojima can just buy the rights from Konami. But I doubt they would budge.
They're not gonna do that, especially because they're remaking the whole fucking. Looks like they're gonna do a Resident Evil with them.
Hopefully it's good. I mean, it looks good. We'll see if it plays good.
I mean, this is whether it's good or not. It's probably gonna be my first attempt. Or it's gonna be my first time playing 3. MGS3 is the only like console release one that I haven't played
Gotcha.
because I had the collection on PS3, and I just kept only playing MGS2. So,
Okay. Especially with the VR training. Or not VR training.
I don't
Wait,
remember.
it might have
I
been
think it was
AR.
VR.
It's AR or VR training. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did that more than the actual story that I remember. I think I used to sometimes just hop in and immediately go into that,
Oh, because I mean, those are cool challenges, and there's a lot of them too. So
and then by getting certain percentage done on certain characters, you unlock other characters to do shit with.
yeah.
Um,
What are we talking about? How do we get to Metal
what the
Gear?
hell were we talking about?
How do we get to Metal Gear? Oh, Game Awards. That's
Game
what it
Awards.
was. You said Blasphemous. Blasphemous triggered the Game
The
Awards
rant.
snub. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this game's not for me. It should have said early access and ironed some things out. It's on sale. I can recommend. It's not even that expensive. It's like less than $30. So I mean,
That's less
if you
than
want,
most $70 games now. So
if you want to try if you like Metroidvanias, which is what drew my attention the most, and you like dark high fantasy, which I do, uh, give it a shot. Hell, if it's not on sale right now, it probably isn't because it came out recently. But wait until holiday sale, see if it's on sale at all for Christmas. Give it a shot. It just wasn't for me.
yeah, in like 2 weeks, 2 3 weeks, you're gonna get another Christmas sale now. So just if you if you didn't get the game you wanted during autumn sale, it's probably gonna be on sale again in like 3 weeks. And there's gonna be a Game Award sale too, earlier in the month. Like not this week, next week, December 7th. There's probably gonna be a Game Award sale for either the games that are nominated or maybe other games that the publisher made instead of the one game that was nominated. You'll see. Um,
Do you want to go back to you?
no, I was gonna ask you what the other what else did you want to go into?
Persona 5 Tactica started and beat it. Um, I so I guess backstory context. I've only played one Persona game, which was 5, and I absolutely loved it. So I beat it twice, which is the JRPG. So that's quite a time commitment.
Yeah.
I beat it regularly, and then when the Royale or Royal expansion happened, which that story is at the end of the base game, so I had to beat it again to get to it. But the Royal was like a lot of quality of life and changes to the game as well. They were it felt great to play again,
Okay.
especially with these changes. I enjoy this series. At this point, I think minus the dancing game, like the DDR game for Persona. I think I've played every single iteration of Persona 5 that they released.
Sounds like
Strikers was dog shit to me.
oh,
The Dynasty
that's the
Warriors one.
Dynasty Warrior clone.
It did not mesh well with the Persona like mechanics to me, at least.
It's not Fire Emblem or Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, did not do that. I still think Hyrule Warriors 1 is probably the best like collab version of that.
Oh no, I like how deep Fire Emblem is. It's just that I don't like that there's no end game. Like once you finish the story, you can't just keep grinding and maxing everything out, which is my only con on that.
That's what I liked about the first Hyrule Warriors. Remember, you had that whole 2D map, and you can put a bomb here and open up a thing and unlock weapons for the characters and all that
Yeah.
shit. First one, I think, is where they peaked for all these like collab. There's a name for those kind of games, but it's called the Dynasty Warrior. Like,
I think it's Moshi.
gotcha.
Moshi or Mushi or something. Or that might be
Um,
something completely different and I'm gonna send you down a very dark path on the internet. I started speaking of those type of games. I started playing the One Piece one, Pirate Warriors 4,
mm-hmm.
and it throws you into an arc. I have no idea what the hell's happening. So I'm like, oh, these characters look okay, and I'm just punching
Yeah.
things. Yeah, so I'm like, okay. I thought it was gonna be one of those like, you know how Tenkaichi always starts you off in the beginning of fucking Saiyan Saga, and they just keep adding arcs every new Tenkaichi. I thought that's what was gonna happen with this. Like it's the fourth Pirate Warriors, but they added like an arc. No, I'm just dead set in the middle of some shit happening. I don't know what's going on, but it's fun to punch the shit out of stuff.
Are you liking the?
I like it for what it is. For just I loaded it up on my Steam Deck and then just started swinging, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. And you can do combos, and I mean, it's just like, mindless attacking with a bunch of enemies on screen.
Gotcha.
And all the characters have different like stuff and abilities and things, obviously, because in the show they all have different stuff. Anywho, but we'll talk more about that when I get through most of it.
So yeah, I like Persona 5 Strikers. I like to pretend didn't exist. I don't know if they're even canon, these spin-off games, because I think they start and wrap up their own thing that has nothing to do with the rest of it. I can't confirm, but um, this game, it's not a spoiler, but it kind of envelops itself in its own thing. It just uses characters that it uses characters from Persona 5 and then does like a thing that's very clearly just something not related.
Okay, so
Because they're like,
that not related stuff is not canon. It's just for fun.
it's what it seems like.
Okay.
They might reference them later on, like, oh, just by name, but I highly doubt anything's gonna be linked
Okay.
in. And that's the thing, the Persona games don't really blend anyway, so
All right. Each numbered one is like Final Fantasy.
yeah. This is them trying to do like a SRPG strategic role playing game. Uh, the story is interesting up to a point. I think it overstays its welcome. Uh, Pretty much all the gang's back together. I think either on summer break or they're about to go into college or something like that. And then if you see on the TV, the politician goes missing, and then I don't know where TV fucks up, and then the door of the cafe looking at has a bullet on it, and they're like, "What the hell? That's a different door." So they open it, and then they get transported into a new kingdom.
Oh shit, the Rose Kingdom.
Uh, there's roses. Yeah, there's roses.
It's just a callback to Super Mario Wonder, Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
I didn't know the name. Um, that's the start of the story. It ends up being very character centric in the sense that it all revolves around someone, a specific
Okay.
character, in an interesting way. Uh, in the base game, it's like, oh, these people are bad, 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 and then it's like, but who's causing the bad stuff? And that's the most that they tie together.
Uh huh.
Where this one, like, it's all about someone. Um,
What's the
so
progression like?
the progression, so like you start and it plays like a tactics, and you move on squares and you do certain things. It's very dumbed down to what
Okay.
you would have in Persona. So for example, there's elements in Persona like fire, wind, and
Lightning,
then
water, right?
you play like the whole this is what's strong to this. And this game they said no, fuck that.
Mm.
But what we will do is each element has its own effect. So like if you do a fire spell, you're gonna burn this guy. If you use like psycho magic, you're gonna hypnotize people and they'll walk out of cover towards you.
Oh,
If
that's
you use if
fantastic.
you use nuclear, it is a vortex. It pulls people into a certain spot.
Uh huh.
Things like that. Um, they do a good job like that. Yeah, it's not. They take the Pokemon aspect out, but each character, no character felt useless.
Okay.
Um,
How many people per party? Is it
3, which
three
is which was
for a
sad.
tactics game?
Yeah,
That's
it's
more of an
three
XCOM
characters.
game then.
It's 3 characters. I was hoping it was just gonna be the whole gang. I was hoping it's gonna be like Fire Emblem, like
Yeah,
scale
like
levels,
if it's
and
a
then be like
tactics
that.
game, it
But
should
like
be a bunch of units.
each fight, the map's not really that big,
Oh,
and that's like kind of how they do it. It'll be like for the most part, you click commence mission, story. Oh, we got into this encounter. Hey, do what you gotta do. And there's challenges like, oh, beat it in this many turns. Make sure no one drops. You beat this encounter. It counts as one battle. Sometimes before you even get back to your cafe, like the resting spot,
uh huh.
more story, another little battlefield.
Okay. I
Um,
wonder if it's because did this release on Switch? Maybe they designed it with Switch in mind, so they didn't have to do major changes when they ported over.
I actually don't know.
Okay.
The combat is fun. There's not too many variations in character, like enemy types, but there's enough that I I, I wasn't
It wasn't
I was
Destiny
like,
2.
man, maybe it may be the same, but this is a different type of game.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's maybe like 5 or 6 enemy types
Yeah.
outside of bosses. It's fun because like each one you have to handle differently. So for example, there's a big body that if you try to hit him, you shoot him once, he'll counterattack you. But after that, if you hit him again, you stun him.
Okay. Oh, he had to come back. Let's buy some time. Oh, he's back.
There's another enemy that you can only stun if you push them off a ledge. And what they do is they throw enemies at you or just throw bricks. So
Okay.
you have to get your way over there, knock them down. They have like little weaknesses, and there's enough of them that it doesn't get stale. But they could have added more if they wanted.
Okay.
The whole gimmick behind your character in Persona 5, or Joker, is that he can use multiple personas. In this game, they do a interesting like change in the mechanic where you have Arsene, which is the one canonically that he's like that was his first one. That's his in this game. But every character can equip a sub persona. So not just him now. You can
Now
attach a sub
everybody.
persona to any party member.
Okay. That. Now that you're
Minus
talking about
one,
that. Uh huh.
because their gimmick is they're from the kingdom that you first go into,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have a persona. They have a different ability.
Okay. Talking about this Persona stuff and tactics and stuff. I want to give the gaming industry a freebie. XCOM, but JoJo characters. You're welcome. Just giving that out there. That's I cannot believe that's not a thing yet. A strategy with JoJo characters. Every episode is you're trying to figure out how the fuck to beat people and tactics and stuff. Anyway, go ahead.
The thing about JoJo though is that you don't really fight too many. Like, so JoJo would basically be you're always fighting a boss if they did the XCOM route because there's no
No,
real filler enemy.
we can fill it with all a bunch of enemies. Who cares? Just it doesn't have to be a story. It doesn't just make a game where I can put in a bunch of JoJo characters and they fight each other. That's it. I don't need a story. Make sure the gameplay is good. Make Jotaro fight his was you don't say. Um his teammate, like what the hell's the small kid with the
Koichi.
is it Goichi?
Koichi. I think it is.
Koichi? With the guy who levels up. What's his stand name? I haven't seen that in so long.
Echo.
Was it Echo? Yeah. Have friends fight each other and stuff. It's just a game.
I think I do what DBZ did with their sideshow. Just have alternate reality versions of each one of them.
No, we don't need that. We have plenty of
Oh.
JoJo characters. We don't need that.
Hmm.
We have
Strong
JoJo
idea.
characters we haven't even seen yet because we're behind. Because all I've seen is anime. So
You know what they could do
what's up?
to evolve on your idea? Just do a shonen XCOM.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
There's plenty of enemies everywhere.
There's plenty of enemies and there's plenty of heroes. There's plenty of everything. But nobody's ready for that. Nobody's ready for that.
Just haven't made a Dragon Ball Fire style game, like a versus game with shonen. That
Brian,
isn't
we
shitty
have
ass Jump
we
Force.
have Dragon Ball Breakers. We all wanted that.
I know what you guys are thinking. We need anime Dead by Daylight. So this is
Yeah.
what we did.
So we did just Dragon Ball. Thank
Speaking
you.
of Dragon Ball, just now they announced it from the 30th of this month to the 11th. Rollback netcode beta.
What have they been doing, bro? I'm sure they're working on a new project. That's the only thing I can think of. That's why they've been maybe one or two dudes are still on that game
That's my guess. This
because
is a way of testing it before announcing the next thing.
maybe they probably got it working on the new game they're working. They're like ported it over real quick to the old one to see if it's working as intended. I mean, it's free QA, so
Yeah, I mean, what's that phrase? Day late, dollar short, in my opinion. But I guess, like you said, free QA.
it's free QA.
So Persona, yeah, they did that new mechanic where everybody can have one on there. It's cool. It adds a little depth to it. It's still simplified to the point where each persona has one ability they come with, and then by fusing them, because that's how you make other ones, fuse them into another one.
Mm-hmm.
You get to essentially pick out of the two that you fuse this into which perk you want to give as well. So they have two things, as opposed to like in the action mainstay game, you have like a whole move list for your personas.
Oh wow!
Um,
So they had
I
it
thought it was
that
cool.
down. I gotta look it up now because it sounds like they didn't go grand with it because it might have been designed with like lower systems and
I don't
in
mind
mind.
them dumbing it down.
Okay.
Because I like those kind of games because they have added more depth to it. I'd be fine with it, but they did it. They did it in a good way. They implemented it in a way that I liked.
It is on Switch, so
Maybe
that
maybe you're right.
might be why.
There's already DLC for it too. That adds allegedly like 3 hours of gameplay, but I'm not gonna end up getting it.
That's fair.
So yeah, the story's good, but it overstays its welcome. There's like 4 acts in the game. The game should have wrapped up with the third one. The fourth one is the inevitable JRPG, and now you have to fight God. And it's like, what does he have to do with the rest of the story you're telling me? And then it's like busy work. So like you go into this fourth act, and it's just you're fighting this weird terrain, and then which is like a puzzle,
Uh-huh.
and then every few battles, boss rush. You remember the first area boss? Fight him. Weird shit. Second boss.
I like
So like
boss rushes if they're their separate mode. I don't like that being part of like the main campaign. That gets me tight. It's like, oh, already beat these guys, and before I fight the final boss, here's all the bosses you fought again. No.
I don't mind
What?
it in Shovel Knight or in the Mega Man games that did it, but
No, I do mind it
I
still.
feel like
I don't like it at all.
I feel like with games like newer games, like back then, I just loved Mega Man, so I was happy to do it just because I like playing them. But I think like currently and moving forward, unless there's such a fire reason story wise why you're doing it or something like that. I like you said, I'd rather just keep it separated.
Even back then, I didn't like that. Going through Mega Man, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go fight Sigma. Not yet. Here's a bunch of bosses. Okay, you mean the ones I've already bodied? I'm good on
Yes,
that.
that was essentially the fourth section of it. That shit could have been deleted. If you ended in the third spot, I think it would have been a really pretty
Sweet spot.
like a bow on
Oh,
the story that they told. Um, because it is a JRPG, a lot of times they do the one of the things I always nitpick is the scene. This guy wants you to do this for this reason, and they essentially say that in three different ways of wording it, and this scene lasted way too long.
okay.
So they'd be like, "Hey, yo, so this is our technique. We're gonna fight that guy because he did this to me." And then they'd be like, "Wait, so if he did this, that mean we have to fight that guy?" And someone else comes in like, "That guy needs to be fought, but why?" Just one sentence and then move on.
Okay.
Um, I if full price, I don't recommend it unless you. That's another thing too. Is there's also bias because I like the characters from Persona 5, so to interact with them again kind of carries a lot of the story for me, maybe because I'm already invested in them.
Mm-hmm.
If you just play this blind, I don't know how much charm or how much you would actually like it outside of like you wanting to dabble with strategy games.
We'll see. But give it a
So
shot.
like
'Cause
full
it
price,
sounds like more like it's Final Fantasy Tactics than it is XCOM.
yeah, like it's. I mean, compared to XCOM, it's a very light strategy game,
Yeah.
but it's fun. Like it's something to play. Full price, I wouldn't recommend it unless you really like Persona 5.
Uh huh.
Um, story could have been self-editing would have been good in my opinion. Uh, I can recommend it on sale.
That's what I might do.
The soundtrack still slaps. The intro song's dog shit, but then the rest of the soundtrack it slaps.
Slaps. Well, I keep hearing the same thing for almost all of their games. So not the
Yeah,
intro
but the
sucks,
intro,
but I'm
yeah,
I'm talking about the soundtrack in general. I looked up the Persona 5 series. There's 7 games under that series of
yeah. Then I
5.
don't think I played all of them. Then
There's Persona 5 well, some of them are duplicates. There's Persona 5, Persona 5 Royale, which you played both of those.
hmm
Strikers you played. Tactica you just played.
hmm
There's another one called the Phantom X. I don't know what that is.
I think it's a mobile game.
It's it says here iOS, Android, and PC. I'm not sure why it says PC. And then the last one is Persona Q2, the new Cinema Labyrinth, and that's on 3DS.
Okay, then I'm a liar. I didn't play that. I didn't play either of those. The Phantom one or the and then
Or
Dancing in the Moonlight is
and
the
Dancing in the
rhythm
Starlight.
game.
Yeah, Dancing in the Starlight. So there's 3 you haven't played.
So
It was
really,
on
I didn't play all of them.
no, but you played the majority of it. Something's up with my computer. I don't know what it is yet, or it might just be my internet being absolute dog shit. Because a lot of sites are taking way too long to fucking load up here.
Hmm.
And it should not be. Like, look, why is
Oh,
studio.youtube.com taking so long to fucking load?
the Phantom one only released in China.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Phantom X. Yeah, there's something up with my internet, or something's wrong here, or my Windows PC is just shitting the bed. I'll figure it out later. I'm not.
DDoS in here.
I'm surprised this voice call has gone so stable.
Why'd you say something that like that? Did
Cause I
you
like to tempt fate. All right, so it gets me up in the morning.
play Persona games?
Definitely not. What tempts fate is XCOM. Because there's no other game that you can be literally within cologne smelling distance and you miss your shots. Okay?
Bro, I've shotgun this distance.
Yeah. He could smell the
97
barrel.
97% chance I've missed and then had my whole crew die because that shot didn't land.
Yeah, that is how XCOM cuts you deep. Everything's
Oh,
percentage based.
and this
Like,
game too, there's no percentage. They're behind cover. It's just they resist or they block the damage.
uh-huh.
If not, there's no percentage. It'll hit.
Oh, okay.
So like it's very simplified. If I had to recommend a just simplified strategy game that I would point you towards, Midnight Suns I still like because the deck building stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Minute Suns just I liked the the things outside of the game. Like after a while, the gameplay got like it's all right. The card stuff is okay. The way you upgrade cards is like whatever. It's like a grind, and like leveling up
I
was a
still
grind.
loved it.
But for me, was the loop of how's everybody doing? You know what I'm saying? Deadpool, you chilling? Spidey, you chilling? How's it
It
going? Oh,
gets
you
it
have a
gets
side
cheesy.
mission? Let's go do it.
It gets cheesy, but I like is like how campy the game felt. If that makes sense.
Okay, Minute Suns, good stuff. Every time I see like, oh, it's on sale, I'm like, I think I gotta play it again.
Yeah, I have to keep like actively reminding myself I have other shit that I gotta do.
Yeah. Um, I think that's it on that. I mean, we
Yeah,
can start talking about Scott Pilgrim if you want.
yeah. So Scott Pilgrim, I enjoyed the show. I've not read. I'm sorry, I enjoyed the movie. I mean, I guess I spoiled my review. I enjoyed the movie. I have not read
Comics,
the comics or the graphic novels, whatever they're considered.
both.
I've had interest. I just never got around to it. I like the game,
Yep.
which so far out of the three mediums that I named, two out of the three I've digested, and they tell us a different story, each one of them,
Okay. Yep.
and they're all altered in a way that I still like. Uh, they did not stop doing that with the show. Um, it's so funny. It's funny that like you forget how much you like the characters and like that kind of world or whatever, like their sense of humor and all that until you're back in it. And
Mm-hmm.
even though this story's different, I'm like, yeah, I fucking miss. And it also helps that everybody voice their characters again.
That is good to hear everybody again. That is true. Uh, I agree with pretty much everything you're saying. It's what they released. It's called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. It's another multiverse of the same characters. Pretty much, pretty much every medium has its own universe, pretty much, and it's fine because each of them handle it gracefully. What was I gonna say? And shout out to Young Neil. I think for me, Young Neil stole the show for this first season. I don't know why. It because he has the dry delivery that was funny in the live action, but it hits more in anime. I don't know why. Animated, like it's
I think he had more time too in the show than in the movie.
he did. Because I mean, in the movie, he had you punch the highlights out of your hair, and then like in the beginning when he was like talking, like introducing himself to like
Nice.
Knives and Ramona and stuff, and then he really didn't have much, and he would repeat the same thing people were saying in the live action. Here, he has like more dialogue. Apparently, I didn't write it. It's his cluelessness is dialed to like 12, and it's so funny.
You know, in America they call this Mario Kart.
Yeah, dude. Like, I would love to know how much stuff was improvised in terms of like what was said or written or whatever the case is. I'm not sure how closely they worked with the cast for the writing part. They might have just wrote it and then they did what they did. But I I don't know what else to say about it. It looks great. The animation is fantastic. It's so stylized. It looks great. It looks like it fits. It looks like I think it's the same art style from from the comics, but in motion now. I think that's how Scott looks like in the comic book and stuff like that. But I don't know what to tell him. It's some of the fight scenes are really cool to watch because they're animated well, and then the comedy is just great timing, great comedic timing. There wasn't much drama in this. Like there's most of it was comedy and action.
There's, I mean,
There's some small,
for the most part, it's just like closure, like something
yeah,
you don't really. I don't want to spoil it, but they take another approach to
to the
the league.
yeah, because it's a multiverse. They handle the league differently in a way that you're like, okay, kind of makes sense. Because the way they handle it here, we didn't see any of that in the movie. In the movie, it was just back to back. He's knocking out bosses, right? As he's dealing with, oh my god, I have to go up against the league. Where here they kind of flip it, which is still, again, very entertaining. And I don't know. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of Scott Pilgrim from the show, the movie, the game, the beat 'em up game, or you read the comic books, even if you have never heard of Scott Pilgrim, you need to watch this.
Yeah, it's beautiful visually. Like the music. I love the soundtrack to the point episode 4.
Yeah.
I went out of my way to make sure that the song that plays during the montage is real.
Yeah. It's
Um,
whatever. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na.
the art style, the best way I can, because I don't, it looks familiar, and I don't know if this is the same person or not. But what it reminded me most of is like Gorillas, the way they do their music videos.
Oh.
A lot of times, even like Knives looks like she's one of the band members of Gorillas.
Yeah, because they gave her like the Krillin eyes, where she's just like a dot.
It's like a big gaping darkness.
Yeah. And it's like, oh shit.
It's gorgeous, great time being with those characters again in different characters. Hearing voices, it's really hard to tell who my favorite is anymore, especially in this version of Scott Pilgrim.
Because the writing, this is not like a slapstick comedy. You have to hear what they're saying to get a lot of the jokes, and it's so good. Again,
Like
for me, it's young Neil. I think he stole this fucking this season.
in the movie, it was Wallace for me, and in this one, it's between fucking Lucas Lee, Wallace, young Neil. There's Stills or Steven is another one of my favorites.
Yeah, what was the thing he keeps? I forgot what he kept singing.
Can I get a witness?
Yeah, can I get a witness? That's what it was. Yeah, yeah. I
So is
definitely.
this a prequel to the movie?
It's its own
No, it's
timeline.
not related.
It's its own timeline. It's just voiced by the people we saw in the movie. It doesn't follow. It doesn't go before or after any of the stuff. You just go in there with fresh eyes. This is the
Easily
news.
digestible too. It's not hour long. It's 8 episodes. They're like almost half an hour.
Yeah, 8 half-hour episodes. You can breeze through it. It is definitely worth watching.
0 out of 10.
Oh, I like just like the live action one. Tons of game references everywhere. I think they also have movie references in there if you catch them too. Like just like in the movie, just like in the live action, it's just its own story, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's a short and sweet review. I had a fantastic time with it. You need to watch it.
I
Scott
technically
Pilgrim.
watched it 1.5 times because when I was over there, you started from the episode.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, because I saw the first 2 episodes. I think a few days before you came over. So I'm like, oh damn, this is dope. But then we were like, oh, let's binge it, and then we fell asleep watching it because it was like late at night. We are like, oh, we can finish it. It's only 2 hour. If you watch it all in one go, it's like 3-4 hours, if that. I think. And then I'm like, oh, well, we can just binge it. And then I just passed out. I don't know how I was just fucking tired or something. So I saw the first 2 episodes, and then I'm like, I'll continue this some other time. And then after, or Sunday, I think, yeah, after we woke up, I'm like, oh, I'll watch this now before Jenny and I had to go to work. So we watched it before she left. And it's just great, dude. I definitely recommend watching that. Animations this year I've been liking because, I mean, Spider-Man came out this year. Nimona. Castlevania. If you haven't seen Nimona, it's also really good. Also a Netflix movie.
Movie?
Mm-hmm. What else? Scott Pilgrim. It's a good year for animation.
Yeah. One thing I noticed too is that
Blue Eye Samurai.
because I guess not the whole cast does a lot of animated, like non-live action. Some people sound identical to how they were in the movie.
Oh yeah.
I.e., Chris Evans sounds
Yeah.
exactly. Other I don't know if it's like they went for a different approach or they're like it's different physically acting it versus like just the voice. Some people are like it's as if they never left.
It is
other
different
people, like, "Oh, it
because
sounds a little different."
yeah, something to keep in mind. It is different because in voice acting, you're in a booth and you have the mic here at all times. So it's gonna sound weird when you're live action and the mics they're trying to get it to work, with whatever. So There's parts when you hear Scott Pilgrim talk, and I'm like, it's too crisp. Like I can tell it's a voice acting where like you mentioned Lucas Lee. It sounds like they ripped it from like he had extra lines in the movie, and they're just like, we'll just put it in this.
Hmm. It could also be because a lot of the cast was younger.
You're right. They were younger at the time, so now a couple years later, they might not be able to get that same voice. Where Chris Evans sounded like that back when they made the
Hmm.
live action, so I guess that makes sense.
Get over my lines.
That's hilarious.
Whatever.
Whatever. It's cool stuff. Yeah, that's all I got on that, dude. Go watch Scott Pilgrim takes off. It's definitely worth your time. It doesn't take up too much of your time, and you'll if you watch the whole thing without laughing once, then I will never recommend anything to you because there's no way. Um, that's my way to transition to stuff now. It's just because I don't
Whatever.
me
Whatever.
whatever. There it goes with the again. If there's an counter, I think I'm at 13 in this episode.
Um.
I'm not saying the collective. Anyway, Randall, what have you been consuming? Or did you, besides Tech and Lab? He's thinking.
Monarch.
Monarch? You said Monarch?
Yeah.
All right, what is it?
I think that's it. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else other than that. I don't think I did though.
That's why that's the bad side of not writing this stuff down. Like it makes this more organic, yeah, but then when it come like, oh, I really want to talk about this, I forget to write it down now.
Hey, if you're passionate enough, you remember.
That's also true.
Simple, innit?
It is that simple. Innit?
It's that simple, innit?
Yes, that simple.
Well, Monarch is about.
Go ahead.
Huh?
I was gonna ask if Monarch was still airing, but I remember us talking about it. And you said that it's still airing.
So Monarch is uh, I want to say TV show, but I guess if you got Apple TV, you can watch it. It's not on regular TV. But it's it's a series on Apple TV, and it's basically based on the movies Godzilla, Kong versus Godzilla, um,
Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
No, that was a question. Is that the same?
Yeah, all of those
Okay,
are
are considered the same thing.
in continuity together.
Okay.
So it follows this girl and this dude, and the girl, it's just her and her mom. Her father dies, quote unquote. Um, that's what they've accept that maybe he died or something like that. But word is that he was on a plane that traveled somewhere near the Antarctic and disappeared, and they can't find him, so they're pronouncing him dead. So she has his keys to his apartment, which is in Japan. Goes to Japan, goes in, starts looking at pictures and stuff like that. Unbeknownst to her, there's some lady in the kitchen, sees her, drops a plate, and she thinks she's being robbed. And then she starts screaming. Her son runs out. What are you doing? And she's like, well, what are you doing? What are y'all doing here?
Uh-huh.
And he says, well, this is we live here. My father lives here.
Uh-huh.
She says the same thing. My father lives here too. So she starts looking at pictures or whatever. Long story short, uh, she picks up a picture, says, this is my father. And now they're looking at each other like they're crazy
Mm-hmm.
because he's like, well, that's my father too. How could that be your father if he's my father and I've never seen you before?
Yeah.
So now the siblings are looking at each other with great disdain because they're like, well, who's the side chick or who's the side family.
Mm-hmm.
Because and the girl obviously is looking at them like, well, he's been with me all my life and he raised me and I got all these pictures and stuff like that that shows that he's my father. And when did he cheat on my mom with your mother? And then
Mm-hmm.
the dude, you know, he's feeling the same way.
But the
So
opposite.
yeah, exactly. So the story follows those two people, the dude and the girl. Um, Along the way, they pick up some friends where it was a love interest that the dude used to mess with this chick. She's really smart with computers, so then she ends up joining the group. And then there's a scientist and another guy. I don't know what his profession is, but he's also trying to figure out what's going on with Titans and where they come from and why they exist and blah blah blah. So then the group eventually grows to like I think it's 5 people. And these 5 people are trying to find out what happened to the sibling's father because the sibling's father is tied to the company Monarch, and Monarch is obviously tied to Titans. So that's basically what the series is about. It's them you're following them as they're unraveling pieces on like where the father may have been, where he was at last time anyone heard from him. Along the way they're solving puzzles or clues, I should say, because of course the father had all these secrets. I mean, he had a whole other family they didn't know about. So he has like hidden compartments inside his office, and they're finding information that's leading them to different parts of the world.
What the hell?
And yeah, and along the way they they run into a Titan or two, and then Godzilla makes his appearance. Now I'm not going to say what happened, but it was interesting.
There's a pickup game.
Are the I forgot to ask you that when we talked about it before. Are the action sequences dope? Like, do they go fisticuffs or is it like just beams?
So no
Or
Titans have fought in each other yet.
oh, okay.
But for whatever reason, Godzilla is apparently destroying cities, and no one has specified why. So that's the first thing that I noticed that was different because in the movies,
He would
it was
defend
because
Japan,
yeah, he was defending human beings against other Titans.
right?
So I don't know what the deal is. All I know in Japan is that they have like a procedure like if they think Godzilla is going to attack, everyone has like a contingency plan to go to like this underground bunker so that they can survive the attack. But other than that, I mean, he hasn't. It's only 4 episodes so far. So far, he has not. At least I haven't seen him destroy or attack a city yet.
Okay. Maybe this is his. This might be his like uh beginning arc. So like right now he's weird and attacking cities, and by the end he might become the protector afterwards. You said they haven't fought a single Titan yet. They just been showing up.
Um,
Excuse me.
so far I've seen only one other Titan other than Godzilla,
Okay.
and
And
it was like way out in where
Like
was
out
it?
way out in the uh,
It
like in the
was in
distance.
some jungles, like away from everybody. Like it had took a old warship. I don't think it was that old. It was a couple of years old, but it had took it from a ocean and put it in the middle of like a. It wasn't the Amazon, but it was like a jungle. Put it in the middle of a jungle, and it was using it to basically home its kids.
Oh, okay. Then there might be one of those things like near the end of the season they might clash kind of thing.
Mm,
Like they might be building up for like a crazy fight. I
but
hope it pays off though.
I'm sorry, it's two. I've seen two aside from Godzilla. Because the one, remember the one I told you about that was in Antarctica.
Yeah,
So yeah, so far I've seen two, three in total, but none of them have
like
fought each
come
other.
yeah, they haven't crossed paths yet. I'm hoping That's what happened. I think that's what's gonna sell the whole. Like this build up sounds nice, but those Titan battles need to be dope. Because I'm sure that's what everyone's like. People like yourself and anyone else who's watching the show, they're there to see some people hit some people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would watch for the inevitable. Like if you tell me 1v1 Godzilla versus whatever Titan,
Uh-huh.
and he gets ball first,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
just let me
over.
know and I'll watch.
That's probably gonna be like episode 6 or 7 or maybe 8. I don't know how many episodes are gonna be in the season, but
Just let me know if there's an episode called "Get Busy," Randall.
get busy.
Hmm.
Everybody's gonna.
Because you guys know. Oh, I got to the
Yeah, guys, let it play ball, bro.
boy get busy.
I forgot. Did he win? He won. Kong. The
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong. Okay.
Remember? See, you guys.
I
were
don't
like,
remember.
Oh, Kong's gonna win. But
I wanted Kong to win. I didn't say he was
I
going
knew
to. I just
Kong
wanted.
wasn't going to win, but I wanted him to win.
Yeah, I wanted him
See?
to win.
Nah. Because you guys didn't know how busy Godzilla got.
I didn't. First of all, I didn't.
So that's why you're like, oh, I want this. You don't. That cat can ball.
That cat can ball. He sure can. He
Because
dunked
remember,
on
he
it.
beats him, and then Godzilla fights Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's actually, it's like an NBA player going against an N1 player. He's like, no, I can't. That's not regulation. So
That's
like,
yeah.
boy come in.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
was
that.
beating the crap out of him, man. It was so bad. It was hard to watch.
You gotta say it like that though.
I was hoping for that movie they had more than just Mecha Godzilla in the tuck as for like the final boss. I was hoping it's a different Titan too, but they had to involve humans somehow. So it's like we made a mecha version of you. Okay.
Anthony. Who's good? Who can go toe to toe with Godzilla?
Oh, it's not
Only
to
himself.
not to beat Godzilla. I just wanted to see something else.
It's
That's
not
all.
even close. If they ball against Godzilla,
Mhm.
only Godzilla can fight Godzilla on the court.
Oh, I see. With regulation.
Duh.
Yeah.
Fucking this guy's new, right, Randall?
I am. I don't sports, so I haven't
Mm.
balled sports in who knows how long. I mean, I might be able to throw some twos, right? I don't know if I can do 3-pointers, but I think I could shoot some ball. I can't. I don't have any handling. I can tell you that right now.
I'm defensive player of the year.
Oh, okay. Were you swatting like the ball down, or are you just
I'm 5.
are you swinging on people as
Walk
soon as
up
they
on me the wrong way.
yeah, and you just elbow them right in the mouth? The hell you think you're doing, son? And take the ball and run past them?
Try to drive on me right now, Anthony. See what happens.
See, I don't know what that is. Drive on you? I can walk towards you while dribbling.
It's gonna be the last time you walk forward while dribbling.
Yeah, like I don't know what driving is. Is that what? Is that me
When
diving
you play
forward?
against me, it's more like parking, Anthony. Tell him, Randall.
Jeez.
Yeah,
They went through a lockdown.
yeah. I don't know what any of that is.
Anthony, imagine you're trying to play basketball, and I'm Morgan.
Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Okay, I get it. I'm not getting in. Is what you're saying.
You parked, bro.
Got it. Okay. I might get that series and start watching. Especially if there's going to be a Titan battle at the end. That's what I want to watch. When I see stuff about Godzilla, I just want to see Godzilla get busy with somebody. Right? Not that way. I'm talking about like fight. I don't want Titan level pornography on the screen. I just want like fighting.
Well, I'm pretty sure in this sick world, somebody probably has made that already.
Randall, there's a website dedicated to Rule 34, which is if it exists, there's porn about it or something. Nothing else to rule. So yeah, I'm sure there's porn about Godzilla. That's not what I want to watch.
Jeez.
I want to watch them like suplex each other or like, like the fight we saw with Kong versus Godzilla where they were actually getting busy. That's why I asked you if they had those type of fights. Cause like, if they have those where it's just like they're just swinging on each other and like slamming each other onto buildings or grabbing buildings and slamming it onto people.
I will admit that the the budget seems to be pretty good.
Okay, so it means like anything that CG looks all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, except for there was a part in the beginning with John Goodman where you can clearly see that they composited his face onto somebody else's body.
Oh,
Um, But that had brought me to like I was thinking about it after watching the 4 episodes, and I was thinking to myself, would I be upset? Okay, so first of all, let me preface this by saying that I am a huge movie lover.
Ooh,
Like I've been,
you love
I've loved
movies?
movies since the first time I could go to the movies, and that's like one of my main pastimes when I was younger, when I was in high school, all that stuff like that. And I love going to the movie theater. Used to go with my friends. It was a whole hype session.
Mm-hmm.
He is movie.
He is movie. You are FX.
Yeah. Um, the smell of the popcorn, the trailers. I mean, mo- the movie scene now compared to like years ago, it's just it's night and day. It's horrible. It actually hurts my heart because the movie scene is like non-existent now with streaming. And I mean I technically blame COVID, but um
It didn't
with
help.
all with all yeah with all the streaming now, like um most people I think are getting into the habit of just waiting. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. The point that I'm trying to get to is I was sitting here and I was thinking, I'm like, man, I wonder if movies are gonna go like are they gonna like disappear? Because and then I asked myself this question. I was like, if they put in the budget that they would normally put in for a movie and they dump that into a TV series, would that be more appealing than going to the movies and watching a director and a bunch of writers try to cram as much information as possible into a 2 hour movie? Versus you can have the same budget, the same actors and actresses, and now you have time to develop characters properly. Um, you have time to get the pacing perfect, and you could just do TV series, but movie quality. Like, I'm just thinking about that with all the stuff that I've seen. Like, I'm thinking about that. Like, what if they did that with like all the Marvel movies? They wouldn't have to do the one thing that made Brian mad was with the whole Thor thing.
Oh,
They
correct.
did it properly because it'd have been a TV series, and Civil War would have been done properly. Um, a lot of things would have been done properly and more accurate, I think. And I'm just wondering if they if that's something that I would enjoy more, like if, at the expense of no more movies.
I'm gonna cut in here and just the payoff is different. A really good 2.5 hour movie is way better than a 3 season TV show.
Hmm.
It's
The
just for
thing
me,
about movies too is like you get closure in those time for the most part. Like you
and
can
yeah, in a
two
good
hours wrap a story as opposed to cliffhanger. We'll wait until next season. Sometimes the next season never comes because they say
because
we're
it's
not going to fund it anymore.
canceled. Yeah, or they only had a vision for the first season, but then they got renewed, so they have to make something up. So now that story that you're like, oh, this is a nice little season, and then they shit on it the next time. Like, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't see it happening. There's too many cinephiles. I guess is the term for movie lovers. Uh, I don't think it's going anywhere, and I would prefer a movie than a TV show because I know I'm spending no more than max 3 hours, right?
I also think it depends on the story you're trying to tell.
And that
Like
too. Like the examples you mentioned with the comic book ones, they're having an issue. The big issue is trying to cram how big a comic universe is into movies, and that's why those movies aren't like you mentioned Civil War. That was we were never gonna have a proper Civil War unless they had a ton of other movies, or maybe if Disney Plus would have came before Civil War, then we could have had maybe a bunch of TV shows to support the more characters who show up. But again, you're trying to fit a comic book world or universe into the big screen, and as you saw, there's hit or miss depending on the story you're telling. But when you're trying to cram too many characters in there, it gets hard to balance for 2.5 hours, right? which then maybe it would be better for a TV show. But like movies like The Killer that I just finished watching or The Covenant, I wouldn't want that as a TV series, right?
Oh, that was the other thing that I watched that I forgot about.
The Covenant,
The Killer.
The Killer. Did you enjoy it or no? Was it too slow paced for you?
Um, I mean, I could talk about it after we finish with this.
Go for it.
Um, I
Oh,
like
oh.
Michael Fassbender a lot, and
He seems
I
like a
think it's
cool dude.
because of him is why I enjoyed this movie.
Oh, okay.
Um, Meaning like if you were to replace it with somebody else, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much.
Wait, you talking about The Killer? I thought you had to finish. You were gonna finish talking about Monarch.
Oh, I thought you meant like go move forward with the killer.
No, I said
Oh,
okay. I said good. We can talk about it afterwards if you finish with.
okay. I'm sorry. I'm
You said
sorry.
Michael Fassbender. I'm like, wait, he's in Monarch too?
Oh, no. I don't really have much else to say about Monarch. I mean, I've said what the story is about.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it's only 4 episodes so far. Actually, while you were sitting here talking, I was going to check and see if
He's gonna be in a new
I
one,
don't
by
know
the
when
way.
the episodes drop, so I was going to
Oh,
see if
you can look it up online. What was I gonna mention? We're talking about the movie thing. Did you have anything to add to that, Brian? But the high budget TV shows versus movie films.
Uh, it's more so different strokes for different folks. Some people can sit there. Some people prefer a story to be told in, like it said, maximum 3 hours. Other people like the break time, as in like watch this
Watch
it,
an
this
episode,
this
take a
this this
break.
bit of it, take a break whenever they want to come back to it. Some people want to be able to binge it. That's their entire day. It's just that. So I don't think movies ever go anywhere.
Hmm.
I personally prefer a show to movies, as you can tell. Since the last time I mean, prior to me watching The Killer,
Oh my god,
uh,
you have to tell Randall how much of the Killer you saw.
so we watched it for Thanksgiving, Randall, and I see the premise. He's there doing yoga, whatever. Shoots the wrong person, right? Goes to DR, does DR stuff. The screen went black, and then it wasn't black anymore, and he was back in the DR, and then I saw credits.
Oh wow.
Brian literally stayed awake. What Brian saw was Michael Fassbender in Dominican Republic, the movie. That's all he saw. Anytime he
Jeez.
was in Dominican Republic, that's when he was awake. Which is why I'm asking you if you felt the same way. Brian fell asleep, so I'm like, okay, that did not grab Brian, right?
Oh no, I was locked in.
Okay.
I was locked in because I was listening to him narrate himself, and
Ah, it was so good, dude. The narration, like especially when he's going to like the Brute's house, and mid sentence he just gets fucking tackled into the wall, and I'm like, oh
you know
shit.
what's funny? It's like when he went in there and the shower was running, I was like, this seems like a setup.
And
Like
sure
I
shit.
think, yeah, like I think this dude is trying to pretend like he's in the shower and he's not.
Hmm.
And sure enough, um, the way they shot that, the way they shot that part too with the sound, they did a really good job of showing how heavy this dude was.
They even did it visually, like it was like deep bass when he swung, and every time
Yeah.
if you saw like when camera pans and stuff, it would like it would like shake, like the camera would shake when he hit, like if you were playing Batman or something.
Hmm.
It was really nice. But go ahead, you can start.
That's something that I've never seen before.
Even the steps they were taking, like when the brute was walking towards him or like stepping towards him, it's like every time he hit it looked like it was like hardwood floor or something. It's like heavy boom, like he was a giant.
Yeah.
Which I guess in comparison to Fassbender's like physique in this movie, it kind of makes sense. Like guy was like 3 times the size of Fassbender.
Mm.
But I mean, Fassbender had the technique. Like that's kind of like I don't want to. You can review it. I already fucking gushed over it last time. But
Yeah, it was I enjoyed it a lot. It was really different than anything I've ever seen. Um It's not really for me. It's not really a lot to say, especially if I'm trying not to spoil anything. But um,
Yeah, once you know the
the
premise.
way he deals with people based on the situation, in my opinion, is very realistic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted you guys to watch it, because time and time and again we watch movies and we're on here talking about that's not realistic, or that's moves. Those are dumb moves that they're making. Where in this movie it was like, if it's a dumb move, he catches himself doing a dumb move, right? But 90% of the time he's making smart moves, right?
And
Which kind of
even like,
go ahead.
I guess it's kind of like when someone does something really horrible to someone that you love a lot, the only thing you see is red. And unfortunately, that doesn't work out too well for the people that cross your path,
Yep.
regardless of their
Well, how
um
with how involved they are with it, because like the kid, the taxi kid, that was so fucked up. Like I'm like, yeah, he took him there, but he had nothing to do with it, right? Like he was just being a
yeah,
taxi
that's
driver.
yeah.
I would have done the same thing he did though.
I mean, yeah,
No
he has to,
defense.
because that's his profession. Yeah, he has. There's no, he can't be placed. Like he needs to. He just has. That's unfortunate, but
Did you notice that he after he did that and he walked away, he took the wallet and the radio to make it look like it was a robbery?
yeah,
Hmm.
he did the same thing with the when he knocked on the guy's window and then put the thing. Once he got the guy's name from the computer, he ripped up the register, threw stuff around.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It's stuff like that throughout the entire movie where he'll do little things. You're like, why the hell did he do that? Or it's either you don't know why he did that, or it clicks immediately. It's like, oh, we need to make it look like he wasn't here, right?
Mhm.
And it's like that's why I mentioned when I reviewed it, like this is the Hitman movie I wanted when they announced Agent 47, that other movie that came out with the dude. This is the version I wanted to see, like meticulous, like planning stuff like that, executing. Like, yeah, it might not go 100% your way, like what happened with the Brute, or uh I mean his first op where he messed up the shot, like, but the
What
majority
he
of it
did
is go ahead.
what he did to that lady, which probably shocked me the most out of all the movie, out of everything in the movie,
The
because it was
lady,
so abrupt.
I mean,
The
when
lady
she,
in the van when he took her to her house.
oh yeah, dude. Well, because she asked for something like that. Remember, she's like, "Hey, make it. Don't make." Because she knows how he can leave the scene, making it look
Yeah,
like it's something bad. That one, it makes it look like she fell down the stairs, right?
yeah.
So it's. I think that makes it better. I think that's his human side going. Okay, I have to do this, but she asked for this request. I'm gonna make good on it. Because again, like you mentioned, like the people who cross his path, even though they have nothing to do with it, she had nothing to do with what happened. But he has to do this, right? Like that is the profession, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you liked it. That's why I saw Brian watch it and he fell asleep. I'm like, okay, I think it's I'm in the minority here. I think I just like it myself because it is slow paced. But
In my defense though,
oh, okay,
we just ate.
that's true. We did eat and then started watching a movie. So the what is it? The itis? Is that what it's called?
Hmm.
Yeah, that kicked in and Brian passed out. All right, cool. It's good to know you liked it. But yeah, he has a comedy coming out. I think it's a Taika Waititi movie, Fassbender. I think it's called Next Goal Wins, and
Oh
it's about
yeah, I seen the trailer for that.
and it's about soccer, and I have that already on my back, like on my wish list, so I can get access to it. Because that trailer looked really funny.
I was wondering what he's been up to because I hadn't seen him in anything in a while.
Take this with a grain of salt, but I heard he's becoming a professional driver, which is why he looks the
Time
way
to
he does in
drive.
the like. I don't know if it's Formula One, but like actual driving, which I think that's why he's in the physique he's in now.
What?
Again,
So
you
he's
can
giving
fact.
them acting?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think that's what he's doing in his free time. But I can look it
Oh,
up. So I can let me look it up. Michael Fassbender Racing. I'm pretty sure he is. The Racing Journey of Michael Fassbender. Yeah, he's been racing. That's probably why we haven't seen him. The actor jumped into the sport a few years ago with a goal of driving Le Mans. This weekend he will be lining up the grid.
What? He
Yeah, so
wants to drive Le Mans?
that's what it seems like. I don't know if he actually did it yet though.
That's insane.
Auto racing. He did.
Oh, he did it already?
Michael Fassbender European Le Mans Series in 2020. He debuted. Nice. He was in the Proton competition team. He finished 5th place in 2021.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, but he can just pull the metal cars wherever he wants.
That's
so,
true. He might be cheating, dude. He might be slowing down the other cars. He just like does this as he's driving. He
There's
pulls them
definitely an
back.
asterisk there.
If there was any person that would want to get powers like that and be the character that they were pretending to be on screen, it would be him. I think he's an excellent Magneto.
Yeah, he did really well.
Yeah, I don't want his family to get murdered though.
Yeah.
True, but Brian, he just meant the powers, not his backstory.
Yeah, not the other stuff.
Yeah,
you
just
can't have one without the other, man.
oh, I guess with great power comes great responsibility.
Especially because of who his wife is. I don't want that to happen.
Oh, I don't know who.
He's married to, I think, married or dating Alicia Vikander.
Oh, nice. I think you did tell me that. I just keep forgetting.
Can't have that, Rand. Is that what you want?
But yeah, that's what he's been doing. Because I think I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I was listening to a podcast and they were randomly talking about Michael Fassbender as well, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's racing," and I'm like, "What?" So I looked it up.
You should have seen it coming, to be honest with you.
The last name.
That was my bit.
Ooh, he read you like a dick.
As soon as he opened his mouth,
Yeah,
my brain immediately was thinking the same thing. I was like, his last name is Fassbender.
yeah.
This is
Damn, bro.
bullshit.
Right, he just came from Tekken, so the reads are like on point right now. He's still in Tekken mode. That's
That must have
fantastic.
looked cool on the helmet.
What's up?
I said that must have looked cool on his helmet.
Yeah,
The word Fastbender or the ability to control the Brotherhood of Mutants?
not that, not the latter. The
Oh,
former.
that would have been awesome too to put on his car.
Why
No,
not?
like his racing thing was just purple and red. Would be cool.
No, like the Magneto helmet. That's what he's saying, Randall.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That would have been dope. I wonder if he has any say in that. That would be really cool. Like a whole Magneto outfit, like just have it colored red and purple, and then he gets in the car and he's just fucking going.
What would you say about your third lap perfection?
That's fantastic.
He's definitely somebody I would like to meet in person.
Yeah, same. Michael Fassbender looks like a cool dude. Tom Hardy looks like a cool dude.
You want their number?
Cillian Murphy seems like a chill dude, but I don't think he's very social though.
He's very antisocial.
Cillian Murphy. Who is that?
Peaky Tommy
Blinders.
from Peaky Blinders.
Tommy.
Sorry, Oppenheimer.
It's the last movie I went to the theaters to see.
And that's thank you for bringing it up, the Oppenheimer stuff. To Brian's point there, remember when you mentioned, Randall, like the theaters aren't as hype as they used to be? We had that this year for Barbie and Oppenheimer, and that's it. The last time we had something hype for theater was Endgame, right?
Mm.
The rest have been just fine openings, but like there were people at theaters for Barbie and Oppenheimer like that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean like in general? You don't mean like us specifically?
Yeah, like it was just there was just like all this like we were both movies that they were packed with people. Like people were excited to go back to the theater. We just need to have those type of like either really hyped movies or just we know that movie's gonna be really good hitting theaters only. But you know, that's not happening as often anymore. But that was a crazy weekend. You saw pink everywhere, dude. Everyone's so hyped to go watch Barbie.
I felt dumb not having pink.
Yeah, everyone was excited to go watch it.
It was wearing pink and I'm wearing all black.
Same with Brian went there with he dressed up as Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see the movie stuff going away anytime soon. That's just a great medium, especially where like a really tight screenplay that's really good. A really good 2.5 hour movie is just You can't. I would prefer that over multiple. Like this is gonna sound really wild. The 5, almost 6 seasons of Breaking Bad was great, but the 2 hours, 2.5 hours of 1917, the 2.5 hours of Saving Private Ryan are way better, right? Like the 2 hours of shit, the Scott Pilgrim live action movie. The amount of just laughing you're doing in that 2 hour block, it's better than some comedy shows. Would you rather
And
watch 13? Oh, dude, would you rather watch how much was? I love New Girl. I think New Girl's like 6 seasons, 7 seasons, or watch Scott Pilgrim or Spider Man across the first one with Jake Johnson in it. Like it's like movies are like specific good ones. Good movies are like specifically tuned for that. For that length of runtime. And when it hits, it's like I need this movie forever, right? Like it becomes a classic. People would no problem rewatch it. It's hard for me to rewatch a show, but I can rewatch a movie no problem. Like shows I can maybe have in the background as noise as I'm playing my Steam Deck.
it's hard for me to watch anything. Even if I'm like, excited to see something, show or movie, I have to either just start playing it or like I gotta like give myself a pep talk. 'Cause, I mean, all I did when I was grounded is watch stuff. So naturally, I don't really like watching things anymore to
Oh
that extent. I
no,
think it's the only thing that equated to.
no, I like watching. I like watching stuff. I like both.
But that
I
being
mean,
said, once I get into it, I'm like, okay, I enjoyed it or I didn't like it.
once the hook is in, if you don't have a hook, then you're like, how can I get out of this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Which is my downfall with not my downfall, which is my con with with a TV show, because the pacing's usually slower unless it's like a fast paced TV show. So you're like, do I keep investing more time? Like especially if they're hour longs, do I keep investing another hour in this, or should I just exit now? Or in a movie, you get to a point where you're like, I'm not gonna finish watching this because regardless of how it ends, it's been shit up until this point, right? Like you can save yourself an hour and a half or something.
I feel the opposite. I don't think I've ever just ejected from a movie. I think for a movie, if I hit play, I have to commit.
I know I've ejected from movies before. There's movies
Well,
I got access to, started watching, and I'm like, no,
with the exception if I fall asleep, because it just happened. But
yeah,
like if I start a movie, I gotta finish it. With a show, I could just be like, you know what? No,
gotcha.
which is to me a plus. That at any point I can just cut my losses.
Okay, I guess that's it for this week. I don't know what I do plan on swapping the days that we record because Janana's schedule with her second job is like absolutely horrendous, and her days off are like today and like Saturday. I think that's it. So
She got
maybe
2 jobs now.
yeah.
Since when?
2 weeks ago. That's recent.
Where does she work at now?
She still has the Coles one, but she's also working at like a Walgreens facility where she helps. I don't know if it's like a packaging center or something. I forgot the
She
actual
makes
name.
all the cheese.
Yeah, at the expense of her mental health.
What
You don't
made her
need
want
that.
to do that though? Just because she wanted the cheese?
No, she has stuff with family stuff.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Uh,
even know that Fassbender did a movie as Steve Jobs. Did you know that?
no. What was it
I
called? I
told him
haven't
to
seen
check
it.
it out. It's called Steve Jobs.
Oh,
Spoiled.
oh. Thought it might have been called something else. Oh no, I never seen it. In 2015, he's not the only big name on there. Kate Winslet's in it. Jeff Daniels, Michael Stahlberg, Catherine Watterson.
Oh, that's why I love Michael Fassbender.
Why?
He's Irish.
Oh, okay. It says he's German, place of birth.
It's funny because it says on when I googled his name and only that I
Uh huh.
did no effort into this besides googling his name.
Okay.
Irish actor,
Oh, okay. Place
but he
of
was
birth.
born in Germany.
Yeah. So how does that work? Maybe his family was just was Irish, and he was born in Germany. I mean, he's got quite the history. He was great in Inglourious Basterds as well.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch this.
He was in Inglourious Bastards.
They got a high rating.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs got an 85.
Oh, then you should check it. Do you have access to it, or do you need access to it?
I mean, I probably just buy it.
Oh, okay.
Who the fuck was he in Inglourious Bastards?
Do you remember the scene where they're at the pub? And
Oh, when he goes like this,
it was him who messed up the counting.
and then he became a mutant.
He
Crazy.
sure did. Yeah, I was just gonna mention if you don't remember him, but he's the one that messed up at that pub when talking to Christoph Waltz's character, which he just destroyed, by the way.
Bear Jew, still my favorite character.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Inglourious Basterds.
Grazie.
That sound like a good deal to you? That is a good deal. Something like that. I forgot how it goes.
You remember how it goes.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys for watching, listening, both. Make sure to do all the things. Subscribe, comment, share with your friends, hit like, put notification, all the things. And we might take a week. We might take next week off so I can decide when we're going to actually start recording again. Because I don't want to change the day and then we'll record another one a couple days from now.
I'm so sorry. I didn't catch that. You said that it was changing the day. What did you say after that?
I was changing it to a different day because Jeanette only has the Tuesdays and Saturdays off, and I record on Tuesday, so I can spend more time with her. I'll swap it to like a Monday or something where she would be at work anyway.
Okay.
But I don't know what day yet. Well, I mean, I'll message you guys to see what time is best. But we're gonna take a break for this week, so I can sort that out. So this episode,
stream.
Yeah, I'm still gonna stream, but I'm figuring out what day to record this podcast. But the stream stuff will be fine because I think she works throughout the stream days for the most part, like Neo days. Oh, so does Joe. Well, we need to redo that because he also works there now. So it might be Wednesdays. So if you want, we might be able to do it tomorrow if we're available for Neo. Anyway, this is still part of the podcast. I need to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching, listening. We'll be back next week. Bye. Or not next week, the week after. For whenever you listen to it. We'll be back. We're not going away. Bye.
I already did my word sound, so I don't know what to do now.